Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on cloud-based software and cloud-based solutions. So my name is Peter Meredith. I'm here at Tech Eagles, and I will just jump right in. If you have any questions, you can throw them into the chat, and we'll circle back around at the end. So, what is cloud-based software? In simple terms, the cloud is just a server that is accessed over the internet. Instead of storing data or running programs on your local computer or server, you can use the internet to access these resources on a server in another location. So typically, with locally based software, you'll have an application on your computer, but for most cloud solutions, they are accessed through a web browser. A simple example of this is Microsoft Word. You could download and install Microsoft Word and run it locally, or you could go to Microsoft365.com and you can run Word through your web browser. There are many types of software that are cloud-based, and most of you are probably already using many types of cloud-based solutions, even if you don't realize it. But our topic for today is about line of business software. Line of business software refers to applications and programs specifically designed to support the operational needs of a particular business unit or department within a business. It focuses on supporting the core activities of the business or the department. Some examples might be a medical company has an electronic medical record system, an EMR system, or a retail company could have an inventory management system, or you may have a customer relationship management system. Whatever software you use, today I hope to provide you with some information that will help if you are considering moving to a cloud solution. Before we talk about the pros and cons of cloud-based solutions, I want to answer one of the most common questions we get, and that is, do I still need a server? Many cloud sellers will tell you that if you switch to a cloud solution, you don't need a server. This is half true. Running applications is one of the many functions that a server does. Among other things, servers will run applications, they'll manage your domain, they can provide file storage and file sharing, they'll manage your DHCP and assign different devices IP addresses. It could also centralize printing, and it also can enforce security protocols on your computers. If you want to remove your need for a server, moving your applications to the cloud is only one step. All of the other things I just mentioned would need their own cloud solution or a different local solution. You may be asking yourself, if I move to the cloud, maybe I still need a server, but could I get a smaller server? Well, the answer is yes, but only to a certain extent. Let me use an analogy about cars that will help us understand what I mean. Let's say you have three families. One family is just a single guy, the second family is a family of three, and the last is a family of five. The family of five goes in and looks at some 7-passenger cars, but ultimately they decide that they don't have the budget for a 7-passenger car, so they choose a 5-passenger car. The family of three goes in and they look for a 3-passenger car, but the dealership does not have any, and the salesperson is not sure that 3-passenger cars exist outside of some pickup trucks that have bench seating. So the family of three gets a 5-passenger car. Finally, our single guy goes to get a ride, and he looks at the 5-passenger cars, and they're too expensive. So he asks for something smaller. They show him the 2-passenger cars, but some of those are even more expensive than the cheapest 5-passenger cars. So our single guy decides to get a motorcycle and save some money by risking his life. In our analogy, the seats in the car represent the capabilities of a server, and the people represent the functions that a business needs. Just like a car, the cost of a server is in the hardware, and there is a baseline level of capability. Going below that baseline is like trading a car for a motorcycle. With that myth out of the way, let's move on to some of the pros of a cloud-based solution. The first is the functionality. Cloud-based solutions are typically on the cutting edge for line of business software. They will have all the newest features and all the advanced capabilities. And access to these features might be enough of a reason to switch. If you are considering moving to a cloud solution, be sure that this is a factor in your decision. Look at the advanced features that the cloud solution provides and compare that to what your current solution does. And see if those features would benefit your business. Another big pro of cloud solutions is the scalability. They are extremely easy to scale. You can add an employee, add an office, and it hardly takes any work on your end. Another pro is the accessibility. Because you are accessing it through a web browser, there's hardly any remote setup required, and you can access it anywhere without any work. It's just built in to the functionality. It also allows for devices that are not as equipped to access the software, such as tablets. Because the application is running in the cloud and not locally, many cloud solutions have tablet functionality that could enhance your workflow significantly. Another pro is the minimal amount of maintenance. This is something that you are passing on to the cloud provider. They will update, they will manage, they will put all the security patches and do all of that behind the scenes, and you never have to do that yourself. And the final pro that I'll cover here is recovery. And when you sign up with a cloud-based solution, they often guarantee backups and data restoration. This is oftentimes faster to recover from a cloud-based solution than an on-premise solution if your business is not dependent on the equipment at your office. So if your office doesn't really have specialized equipment like an X-ray machine or anything like that, and your office is destroyed, restoring from a cloud solution can be as simple as buying a new computer and you're good to go. But if your business is dependent on systems that are at your office, it is not necessarily faster for a cloud solution. The best example is a medical office. Just because you can get into your EMR might not necessarily mean you can see patients if your office burned down. You have to wait until your office is rebuilt. With that said, let's move on to some of the cons for cloud-based solution. The first and most important is the cost. Ultimately, the cost of a cloud solution is always more expensive. You are paying for some of the ease and some of the functionality in cost. Cloud solutions have a subscription fee, and that can add up substantially over time. Another unknown and often unconsidered fee with cloud solutions is your internet speed. Typically, cloud software will include a minimum download and upload speed in order to use it. This is a per device minimum. These minimums are going to be the highest when you are in a field like the medical industry, where you are required to upload lots of data. We have seen some cases where, in order to meet the minimum upload speed, a business had to increase their internet bill from $200 a month to $1,200 a month. So it is very important, if you are considering a cloud solution, to check the minimum requirements for your cloud software. And this is the biggest tip that I am sharing today. You take those minimum requirements and add 5. So an example, it might say 25 megabits per second. You don't have to worry about the rest of it. Just take the 25, add 5 as a buffer for your other activities. So that would be 30. And then multiply that by the number of devices at your location. And the number that you get is the number that you need to call your ISP and say, what would it cost for me to get internet at this up and down speed? Another cost is usage-based pricing. Some cloud solutions have usage requirements and usage pricing, and unexpectedly, you could run a month where you use way more than you were planning, and that can lead into an unexpected expense. Another cost to consider is how much time it will take to train your employees to use the new software. And then the final cost that I will cover today is the cost to migrate. So depending on your current software and your current setup, it can be very expensive and labor intensive to move your data to a new solution. These are all the different ways that cloud solutions cost more than a traditional server-based solution. Another con of cloud solutions is the downtime. Most cloud salespeople will tell you that cloud solutions are great. You can always trust on them. They're always there. They're always up. But based on our experience and based on the data, there's really not that much downtime savings. And cloud solutions require internet access. So if you lose your internet, but you don't lose power, if you have a local solution, you can still work. But if your solution's in the cloud, you can't. And we find on average that most businesses lose about 1 to 2 hours a month of internet while they still have power. Another way you could lose is if the cloud provider themselves has a service outage. If anyone remembers the recent incident with CrowdStrike back in the summer, that's a great example. All of our cloud-based clients could not work because their cloud providers were down, but our local server-based clients could because they were not dependent on a cloud provider. The last downside I'll talk about here is compatibility. If you have lots of line of business software, if you have specialized equipment, if you have a very heavy reliance on local hardware, such as scanners or x-ray machines or whatever various systems you use, cloud solutions are very limited in what they are compatible with. And oftentimes, you can't just get one thing, you have to go full blown with their solution. And it might not fit with your business and your specialized equipment. One final myth I'll cover before I end our webinar is compliance. Cloud providers will often tell you our software will make you HIPAA compliant, for example. And I'll tell you today, moving to a cloud solution does not make you compliant inherently with any regulation. The software itself might be compliant, and it does help with some regulations. But it's like having a house and then digging a tunnel to another house. The second house might be compliant and the tunnel might be compliant, but that doesn't make the house where you live and work compliant. I hope this has been helpful for everyone, and like most things, it is not a clear and easy answer as to what is better. Every business is unique, and it takes work to determine the best outcome. If any of you have any questions Or if you would like insight into your specific situation, you can send an email to help@techeagles.com, and I would be happy to jump on a 15-minute call with you for free and just provide some additional perspective to your situation. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.